Just let me know your thoughts on Jake going 6 rounds with AJ.
You know, the fact that he did that, it was good because you know we didn't think it was going to go 6 rounds.
Lennox Lewis saw it coming from a mile away. In the heart of Miami, his prediction turned into a brutal reality. This wasn't just another influencer circus. It was a cold, calculated lesson in what happens when YouTube fame collides with heavyweight royalty. While the world questioned whether Jake Paul's problem child energy could survive the power of a former unified champion, Lennox Lewis sat ringside with a clear, "I told you so" look. By the 6th round, the answer was undeniable, not just clear but written in blood. This wasn't an upset. It was a systematic erasure of a boxer who finally bit off more than he could chew.
Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. What do you think when I heard about the fight? I said, they're going to actually fight? I didn't believe it. But what we got to do is say, Jake Paul really bit off a lot this time. He's serious. He wants to go up against a true heavyweight, and that's Anthony Joshua. So he's up against a heavyweight. How's he gonna adopt? How's he gonna feel? How's he gonna fight when he gets in there? I don't see him fighting. I see him looking to survive in the fight. He's gonna feel the uppercut. He's gonna feel the jab. He's gonna feel the right hand. How's he gonna react? I don't know. We're gonna have to see how he's gonna react.
Lennox Lewis didn't even believe the fight was real when he first heard about it. The heavyweight icon openly admitted he was shocked that Jake Paul would even consider stepping into the ring with a man of Anthony Joshua's stature. Lewis didn't mince words, comparing Joshua to a high-end race car and Jake to a standard daily driver. He predicted that the moment AJ's power landed, Jake would go from being a fighter to simply trying to survive. According to Lewis, the problem child truly bit off more than he could chew this time. And his breakdown of when everything went wrong was as brutal as the knockout itself.
My mom wanted me not to fight Anthony Joshua. I should have listened to my mom. My dad pushed me to this. Now I'm alone in the hospital. Got to eat liquid now. Anthony Joshua be ready for a rim.
One of the biggest talking points heading into the night was Joshua's massive 15-month layoff. Critics labeled it ring rust, and for the first few rounds it seemed like they might be right. AJ looked measured, almost too patient, as he struggled to find his rhythm against a smaller, twitchier opponent. But as Lewis explained, this wasn't AJ being off. It was a calculated process. He was hunting down a man who was essentially playing a game of tag inside a boxing ring. Joshua used those early rounds to shake off the cobwebs, treating one of the biggest pay-per-view stars on the planet like a glorified warm-up.
It's my job. We fight. We're licensed to kill. I'm sure many people don't understand it, but this is what my job is, and I just enjoy what I do. Whatever happens, happens. As long as my hand's raised, that's what's important, right? Respectfully. That's just the mentality we have to have as fighters. I don't know if any other fighter thinks that way. Maybe they're a bit more tamed. But the things I watch and the way my mind works, when you're in that ring, it's a dangerous place to be and anything can happen. And you hope your opponent leaves the ring safely, but if they don't, you know, you still have to go to bed at night knowing that you just done your job. It wasn't personal.
Jake Paul's strategy was clear from the opening bell. Use the track star method. For the first 3 rounds, he literally ran around the perimeter trying to frustrate Joshua and stay out of range of that lethal right hand. Lewis noted that this type of movement drains an enormous amount of energy, especially for someone not accustomed to heavyweight intensity. While Jake stuck out his tongue and taunted AJ after missed shots, he was secretly gassing himself out. He may have won the optics early by being elusive, but in reality he was sprinting toward an inevitable collapse.
The game plan from both guys from round 1. Jake was very mobile. I mean, he had the happy feet going. He was circling around the outside of the ring. He was not looking to engage in elongated combinations. He was not looking to stand in the center of the ring with AJ, and people are going to say Jake ran from AJ, and you're right. Because guess why? He absolutely had to. Again, talked about this in the build-up to the fight. He had to be mobile. He had to be on his bike. So yes, you're justified in saying Jake ran from him because he had to. He had to. And anybody that convinced themselves that Jake was going to walk to the center of the ring, stand in the phone booth with AJ, and trade punches until someone laid flat, you were lying to yourself, or you convinced yourself of something you saw in the promo. This was always going to be the way the fight went. I wasn't surprised at all that this is the way that Jake started and pretty much fought the entire time. I was a bit surprised that AJ didn't assert himself earlier. Now again, it is very hard to hurt someone that doesn't want to engage in a continuous fight. Round 1, very much a feeling out process for AJ. Didn't really look like he did much, but Jake didn't either. There was one right hand that AJ landed in the first round that shook Jake up. That's the danger that was coming for Jake the entirety of the fight.
By the 5th round, the problem child had run out of road. The referee was even heard telling both fighters that fans didn't pay to watch a track meet, urging them to engage. That's when heavyweight reality finally kicked in. Lewis pointed out that Jake stopped moving and began standing still, just waiting to get hit. A massive left hook buckled his legs in the 5th, and from there, everything spiraled downward. The 6th round didn't last even 2 minutes before a monstrous straight right hand sent Jake crashing to the canvas for the final time. The taunting stopped. The tongue stayed in his mouth. And the referee finally ended the nonsense.
In that 6th round, you saw AJ come alive. He saw a wounded animal and finally went in for the kill. And let me tell you something. Jake took some fucking hard KO punches in this fight. The first one in the first round, he got hit with a shovel hook from the left side. He got hit with an uppercut at one point. It's a heavyweight fight. I'm not going to congratulate Jake for, getting beat up, but I am going to congratulate his heart for being able to take those punches and not quit on himself, at least to the point of being like, I'm just going to stay on the ground here and call it an evening. He didn't do that. He got up multiple times. He got dropped multiple times. Again, kind of the clinch weird thing, but he would get hit with a punch and, look to clinch at AJ and just kind of fall by the wayside. That happened twice in the 5th round. And then in the 6th, the levee broke. He finally got Jake into the corner, threw a flurry, and then came across when AJ was like going around the side with the right hand and trying to chop over the top, and then, big looping shots that he was missing early on because Jake was moving his head and doing some good things defensively. Fair play to him. He was protecting himself very well early on. In the 6th round, his gas tank was done. The legs were not there. He had already been hurt a bunch from AJ, and AJ went to the body with the jab and chopped the right hand over, and it hit Jake, and he snapped his head, collapsed to the canvas. That's it, and that's all. It was so devastating that Jake turned around and looked into the crowd and went, oh fuck, that's the realization. That is reality of heavy.
The physical cost of that final blow was severe. Although Jake tried to appear tough in his post-fight interview, he was visibly spitting blood into a towel. It was later revealed that he suffered a double fracture to his jaw, a claim he eventually confirmed by posting x-rays online. The Florida Athletic Commission acted quickly, issuing an immediate 60-day medical suspension. Reports also surfaced that Jake was rushed to the hospital shortly after showering. It proved one thing clearly: you can play boxing, but you can't play with a heavyweight's right hand. This wasn't just a loss, it was a face-breaking experience.
And that's the problem with the direction he's been going in, is he puts on big fights, but not competitive fights. Fighting Chavez Jr., that was an easy win. Nate Diaz, an easy win. Mike Tyson, an easy win. Anthony Joshua, not competitive for the opposite reason. He's completely not expected to win, and it wasn't competitive. He stacks the chips too heavily either way, and because of that, we never actually get to find out how good Jake is. And part of that, I think, is maybe deliberate, because then we never know, and the storyline can go anywhere. And while you don't know really how good he is, there's always another dream to sell, and it's almost genius level promoting. It really is. But for his own sake, you're getting into your late 20s now, your physical prime. You're only going to ever find out how good you really are by getting in there with people who are of the level that you claim you're at the right weight class. You are not a cruiserweight. You've got a layer of body fat on you. You can't be doing that in boxing. If you're a serious boxer, you don't get in there looking like Jake Paul looks. You look shredded, and that's why really he's a light heavyweight. But fuck it, if you want to be cruiserweight, be a cruiserweight. Regardless, just fight people who are now ranked, and let's find out where the fuck he is. Because surely these money grab Tyson fight, the AJ fight, he's packed that bank chock full. And credit to him. Even if he has hustled people or whatever the fuck, credit to him. One of the best promoters in boxing history, actually. I really do believe that. Because even when fights seem ridiculous, he always gets people to tune in. And he's done great things with Netflix. And hopefully that opens doors up for other boxers, and he's certainly opened a lot of doors up for female boxers. So again, credit to him for that. But let's find out how good you really are now. Because I just don't want any more gimmick fights. I just want the real fucking deal.
No major fight is complete without financial chaos. And this time the infamous Drake curse struck again. The rap superstar reportedly placed a staggering $200,000 bet on Jake Paul to pull off the upset, a win that could have earned him over $1.6 million. Instead, that money vanished the moment Jake hit the canvas. Social media showed no mercy, with fans claiming Drake's bet was the final nail in Jake's coffin before the fight even began. It's quickly becoming a running joke. If Drake backs you, you're probably getting knocked out.
that was. Jake Paul didn't get in there to win last night. He got in there to survive. And he didn't do a better job of surviving. He sold the fight brilliantly. That's what he is. He's a salesman. And he's a YouTuber, influencer, call him whatever you want. So from that perspective, he did his job, but he never got in there to win. He just got in there to got beat up. I'm glad Anthony Joshua done a number on him. This is why boxers are boxers, YouTubers, whatever they want to call themselves, influencers, they should stay in their lane and fight people that they're supposed to fight on their level. This guy was never on Anthony Joshua's level, and Joshua did what he needed to do, did what he had to do for the sake of boxing, and blow this guy up and just knock him out.
What about the fact that Jake was able to land on him clean a couple of times? What did you make of that?
Oh, listen, you can't get into the water without getting hit. Fortunately for Joshua, that guy can't break an egg. So he was never in any danger. He's always going to get hit back. I mean, it was 6 rounds. Anthony Joshua was always going to take at least 1 or 2 shots over that 6-round period, but it was nothing to hurt him. It was nothing to bother him. And like I say, this is all about getting AJ's confidence back. Okay. If Jake Paul fights, if he fights KSI or KFC or whatever his name is, then those two are evenly matched, aren't they? They're evenly matched, and then they could fight, and then because they're evenly matched, they're both YouTubers, aren't they? They should get that on. I'd probably stay up and watch that.
The biggest bombshell of the night didn't even happen inside the ring. During the broadcast, Lennox Lewis and Eddie Hearn dropped a massive revelation that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. According to Lewis, this fight with Jake Paul was merely the final tune-up before the real business begins. Contracts for a 2026 mega fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have already been signed. The Miami spectacle was simply AJ getting rounds under his belt before facing the Gypsy King for the undisputed crown. Jake was never the main character, just a speed bump on the road to the biggest fight in British boxing history.
And I've just been sent a video of Anthony Joshua talking about if he kills somebody, he kills somebody in a boxing ring. I think, you know what? He's a little bit long in the tooth to be talking shite like that. He's 37-year-old at the end of his career, fighting a YouTuber, a Disney Channel guy, who Tommy B. And now he's talking about killing him and all that to try and sell. Please, barking up the wrong tree, idiot. Here's a fun fact. If I ever come across you, bum, I'm knocking you dead spark out. I ain't a YouTuber or a man half your size. I am him, the man. You're a classless loser coming off a 15 months knockout defeat to a local lad. Imagine if someone from Morecambe knocked me out. You big bum, useless tosser. Get up, and I can't wait if Jake Paul knocks your spark out, you big bum.
In the end, the Miami showdown served as a brutal reality check for influencer boxing. Jake Paul showed heart by surviving 6 rounds with a giant. But he also proved that there are levels to this sport that social media fame can't overcome. Whether it was the shattered jaw, the $1 million betting losses, or the Fury fight revelation, the message was loud and clear. The era of playing boxer may be coming to a violent end.
Any message for Fury?
Fury, listen, we'll see you in September.
Is it realistic, you think? I mean, it's been like 7 years, right?
We'll get it. You'll get it.
Now that the cobwebs are gone, the heavyweight division looks ahead to a legacy-defining 2026. The only question that remains is this: can Jake Paul ever truly recover from a systematic erasure like this?
TV, what did I just watch? All right, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is over. Thank God it's over. What a joke of a fight. I was hoping that I could at least give Jake credibility and saying, you know what, he took this challenge, even if it's for a lot of money, he still had the guts to walk to the ring and all this stuff. I was hoping, you're gonna get knocked out anyway, dude. Like, I was hoping I could say, you know what, because he earned the respect of boxing fans by going out on his shield. Guy just ran for his life. I just watched Jake Paul run for his life for like 5-6 rounds. Literally just run for. He was doing football jukes. You guys watched that fight? Ring was big. I made a freaking point about that ring being big, and he used it to his advantage in terms of survival in every way he could. I mean, this guy literally never tried to win a second of the fight. He was trying to throw a home run punch every once in a while. Then notice every time he got in the clinch, he just went down. Like he just hugged Anthony Joshua and then like would go down, and the referee would call it a slip and give him a break, and like he would just kill time that way. Then he was completely angling off. He's completely blading his shoulder off completely to the point where he's so bladed off that he can't even punch. He was just trying to make himself as small of a target as possible. Now Anthony Joshua, people are gonna say, oh, why didn't Anthony Joshua catch up to him? Because Anthony Joshua never had fast feet to begin with, and Anthony Joshua honestly should have probably cut off the ring a little bit better. That's my one critique of Joshua. He probably could have cut off the ring a little bit better. Joshua's always never really had the best feet, but in terms of cutting off the ring, could have at least done that. But honestly, what do you want the guy to do? I mean, this guy ran for his life in a 22 by 22 foot ring. That ring was huge. That ring was huge. I can't believe what I just watched, guys. I'm seriously, like, dude, that's it. That's it. This was AJ's chance. Could have went out on his shield and his chance to say, yeah, get the respect of the boxing community. This was the one that could have got him the respect of the boxing community. This was the one. He came out with all this rap crap and doing the Hulkamania crap and all that other stuff and all that stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, is he that calm, or is he literally just setting up his own demise? I don't know. AJ came out to the ring really serious, which would you expect? And then, I mean, he never fought. Jake never fought. Like, he never fought the whole fight.
Now we want to hear from you. Do you think Jake Paul will return to the boxing ring, or has this beating ended all hopes of a comeback? Let us know in the comments below. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments, stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.